Hello, music fans. I'm continuing my favorite artists that begin with every letter of the alphabet series, and today the letter is C. My favorite band that starts with C is Caligulas Horse. This is their album called Moments from Ephemeral City. It's their first album. One of my favorites by them. It's hard to pick a favorite because all their albums are so good. They're a prog metal band from Australia, really solid. Mostly use clean singing. They don't really scream. Lots of cool virtuosic instrumentation. Great songwriting. Yeah, their songs are just a really good journey. And then my second pick for my second favorite band that starts with C. This is Chiyodos. It's a post-hardcore band, and this is their album Bone Palace Ballet. Although my favorite album from them is actually their album called Illuminatio, which is kind of their most progressive album and their only album not to feature Craig Owens on vocals. It's got a different vocalist who I actually like quite a bit, and I like the songs on Illuminatio better than their other albums, but I like all their albums. I wasn't as big on their last album, Devil. It's still good, but not as strong as their first three. But yeah, they're a solid post-hardcore band. Good riffs, good melodies. The singing on the first couple albums can take some getting used to, as it's very high pitch emo style vocals, but once you're used to it, it's you can appreciate it. Alright, I got some honorable mentions as well. There's lots of good bands that start with C. If you're looking for some more kind of punk rock type music, there's a Canadian band here called Choke, and this is their album Slow Fade, or How I Learned to Question Infinity, which is their last album that they made and my favorite album by them. They don't really make new music anymore, but they're a really amazing kind of like a technical progressive punk rock band. They're punk rock, but they change time signatures and they have wild guitar leads and ambience in the music and really cool like harmonies and song structures. The vocals take some getting used to on this as well, because they're almost like kind of nasally, but once you get used to it, it's pretty cool. And other honorable mentions, if you want some more kind of prog bands, we've got Kohit and Cambria. They're like a prog rock band that has some pop punk influences as well. Or Cynic, another prog rock band. Now they're prog rock. They kind of started as more of a death metal band back in the early 90s, and then they evolved from death metal to prog metal, then to kind of prog rock on their last album. It doesn't sound as metal anymore, but they still have some traces of metal in there. Another great prog band that starts with C, the Contortionist. They also started kind of heavier, almost like death metal or deathcore or technical death metal or something of that nature, and kind of evolved from there to prog metal, and now even more to like prog rock. Not as much metal in their sound. Like Cynic, they kind of got softer over the years, but all of their phases of their band are good. I like the heavy stuff and the soft stuff from them. And another prog band, an instrumental one, is the band Sean, which is a pretty cool instrumental prog rock band. And those are the ones that came to mind on the prog side. I've got some other bands that start with C that I like that aren't prog or punk rock or post-hardcore or anything like that. One of them is Cult of Luna. They're a post-metal band, really solid band. Of course, there's Coldplay, pretty big band. I like their first maybe 4 albums quite a bit, like alternative rock, kind of pop rock. But then they went a bit too pop for my liking after that, and I didn't like their stuff after that as much. But I still really appreciate some of their earlier stuff. Another good band that starts with C, Casualties of Cool, which is a project that involves Devin Townsend, and it's like a country rock kind of project, but with really weird like spacey ambience. And yeah, I don't usually like country or country rock, but I actually really do like this. It's got Devin Townsend on guitar and vocals, and also has a female guitarist and vocalist, and they duet on a lot of the songs, and it's really good. 2 more bands that came to mind for the letter C. One of them is the mathcore band called Car Bomb, which is a really solid mathcore band. They're kind of like Meshuggah, but more, I guess, more spastic and chaotic than Meshuggah, I think. I guess I would say that. Meshuggah is already pretty spastic and chaotic, but Car Bomb is even more so, more on the like mathcore side, whereas Meshuggah is kind of more hypnotic and you get lost in the groove. And yeah, I'd say hypnotic is maybe a better word for Meshuggah. Car Bomb is more spastic and frantic and thrashes you around. So it's pretty cool. And the last band that starts with C that I want to mention is called the Claypool Lennon Delirium, which is a project with Les Claypool of Primus on bass and Sean Lennon, who's the son of John Lennon, on guitar and vocals. Les Claypool does some vocals. Sean Lennon does some vocals. They kind of trade off vocals in the band, and they're a psychedelic rock band. And yeah, it's very trippy, interesting stuff. And that's all the recommendations that I have right now with the letter C. I know there's a lot more bands than that that I missed, and I'm sure there's some great ones that I missed, but those are the ones that I wanted to highlight today. Until next time, we'll talk about the letter D in the next video. Peace out.